Well, it is so good to be here. What an amazing start to the week that I get to start it with you all. I hope you look forward to Mondays as much as I do. I actually love Mondays because what I found is so many people live for the weekend, but that's only 2 days out of the week. And so I've really taught myself to live for the Monday. I want the week. I don't want to just live for the weekend. I want every day to be a weekend feel. Does that make sense? And so if we're only happy for 2 days, then think about where we're going to be. And so I want to talk to you about some fun things. And I want to, it might even derail a little bit because I want to explain what I just did to my kids. And you might think I'm a monster as one of them comes in here and he's looking at me, not very happy with me because of what I just made him do. But we have a workout plan for my kids, and what they have to do is they have to run our hill 3 times every day. That's the base, that's the bare minimum. Then they have to do 3 army crawls up our hill, and then 10 push-ups after every up and down. And so they just had to do 60 push-ups, 3 down and up runs, and 3 down and up army crawls. And they were crying. And they were crying because it's hard to do, but we're now a month in. Hey, get out. I'm going to talk about you, so I don't want you to hear it. No, you can go with mom. I just don't want you standing over my shoulder. Love you. So they're crying not because it was hard. They've been doing this for a month and a half now, and on a regular day, they do it with no tears. In fact, Charlie was like, you know what? 3's getting easy. I'm going to do 4. So that's where his mindset is normally. But his mindset today was after the first army crawl, I'm going to cry. It was not because of the strain. It was because of his mental capacity in that moment. Does that make sense? And so what I did, as a loving father as I am, I just made him do 50 gassers. And what 50 gassers are is he has to stand 10 yards apart and he has to run back and forth as fast as he can 50 times. And he wound up puking. So before you judge me, and in the midst of all the tears, and as I walk away from that, I'm still sweaty. As I walk away from that, my wife calling me a monster. Charlie's mindset switched. Because it was all in his head of how hard it was. And then towards the end, he got over it being hard. And then he started saying, I just need to go faster. I need to go faster. I need to go faster. Y'all, I truly believe that if I let him sit in that poor mindset when he was doing the runs up and down the hill all day, he would have been out of it all day. But I helped him push through it through hard work. Does that make sense to y'all? Are you tracking what I'm saying to you? Because I'm trying to teach our boys, our minds they lie to us. They say we can't do certain things, but we can. And so I started thinking like, oh my gosh, does this not relate to everything we do in this business? How many times do we get in a funk? How many times do we get in a poor mindset? And we say, I'm just not going to do any work today because I'm not mentally there. What if you had to power through it? So in the midst of the tears, I didn't allow him to let up his runs. He had to run just as if he had a good attitude. What if we ran our business that when the times get hard, when our minds are weak, we run even harder to our goal? I just think that's such a powerful, powerful correlation to what we do in our business. Because what I realized in this business is for you to be emerald, sapphire, diamond, you have to do extraordinary things. But really what that means is you just have to do the ordinary things extra. I remember, as we're 8 days away from having this baby, I'm reminded of the last time we gave birth to Hezi, and Megan is still recovering from a very long labor. And she's literally talking to the nurses and getting them on Facebook so that she can tell them about Plexus. Y'all, she just almost went back for emergency surgery where they were going to break her pelvic bone to get the baby out. Like, that's how close we were. And she's now in the bed recovering, saying, oh my gosh, you need to follow me on Facebook. I need to tell you about my stuff. There's nothing special about what my wife does. She just does the ordinary things extra. Does that make sense? The times where she is mentally crying and she's mentally not there, she pushes through it. We have a saying right now with Charlie. So Charlie, I think I told you last time, Charlie wants to go to the NFL. That's his dream. He wants to go to Penn State because that's the college football team we watch. And he wants to play for the Eagles. That's what he wants to do. And he always asks me, what if, Dad, what if I play for Dallas? Will you still support me? And I said, I will wear your Penn State jersey. I will not wear Dallas. And so that's the conversations we have. But y'all, I even this weekend was crazy with lessons, because if you see the stories that Megan was posting, we were on Nissan Stadium's field playing for his game yesterday. And I had a realization, and I said, Charlie, you always said your dream was to play in a stadium. Well, God just gave you that dream. You have to be more specific about your dream. Because if your dream is, I want a runner, and God gives you a runner, but they're 4 levels deep, are you going to be happy about that dream? Do you get what I'm saying to you? He got you that person, but that person's 5 levels underneath you because you weren't specific enough. So I was teaching Charlie in this moment, don't just pray for you to play on an NFL stadium. What do you actually want? And he said, well, I want to play for an NFL team and I want to win a Super Bowl. I said, okay, that's then what we're going to be pushing for. We're not just pushing to make it. We're not just pushing to play on the field. So think about that with your business. What actually is your dream? What actually do you want? Because if you figure out and zero in on what you want, and I'm talking about specific, and get up every single day and work towards that goal, I guarantee it'll happen to you at some level. I want you to put a 1 in the chat if you believe that. Because I want you to fully grasp that in your mind. That you need to zero in on what you want, but every day, that has to be the barometer. Every day, your actions today, does it align up with the dreams and goals you have for tomorrow? I can tell you the majority of the people on this call, your actions today are not lining up with your goals and dreams for tomorrow. So where's that switch mentally do we have to get to? Where's that switch that you got to say, even though I'm in the midst of being tired, I'm in the midst of the pain, I'm going to push through and do even more than what's required of me? Are you all following me right now? Because y'all, when I was writing all this down, I was getting fired up because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is good. Like, this is good. And so you want to be where Megan is. You want to be where Alita is. You want to be where Cheryl is. You want to be where Joey is. I want you to turn that and say, okay, what do I have to do today to get to where I want to be tomorrow? How many 9-year-old kids do you know that are working out as hard as my boy is right now? Not many. But then when, and I'm not even going to say if, when you see him go to college and play football, when you see him make an NFL team, I want you to remember this moment. Remember this call. Because I want you to fully understand that it is not by luck that you achieve things. It is not by happenstance. It is about turning that lion inside of you and allowing it to hunt. Do y'all understand that you literally, like, there's a lion inside of you? And there's some of you, you don't realize it. There's other of you that you know it's there, you just don't feed it. And then there's some of you that pretend it's not there because it scares you. Y'all, every day.
What? Get that cover up off that ground.
Sorry, Ashley, I'm going to mute you. Every day, I want you to find that lion inside of you and figure out how you can feed it to run after your goals. You know, it actually says the righteous are as bold as a lion. Are you operating your business as bold as a lion? And if you're not, why? Because y'all, the lion doesn't retreat. So if we're as bold as a lion and a lion doesn't retreat, then what are we doing to go after those goals? Because every day we have to choose to show up for ourselves. Did you choose to show up for yourself yesterday? Did you choose to show up for yourself today? It's already 9:45 in the morning here in Tennessee, and my boy has already done his workouts and has already done his 50 gassers. He's done for the day. He's already done the hard things. He cried through it. He threw up through it. He wasn't happy when I made him do it. But the other game, when he was out there and he was blowing through the offensive line, making tackles and getting a fumble recovery, you know what he said to me? He goes, I am so glad I put in the work because it was a lot of fun blowing through that line. Y'all, the things we have to go through suck sometimes. But if you stick through it, if you set your sights on that goal, and if you're as bold as a lion, you're gonna achieve it. I'm sorry for all the football analogies, but I'm not sure if you know who Nick Saban is. He used to be an amazing football coach, and he has a saying that there's 5 types of people. There is you have 5 choices to make.
Jack, no, put it. Sorry.
You're fine. Listen, y'all, you can interrupt me as much as you want. It don't bother me. But listen, you have 5 choices. You can be bad, you can be average, you can be good, or you can be excellent, or you can be elite. So you can be bad, average, good, excellent, or elite. And here's the thing, it's not about what you want. Everyone wants to be elite. Everyone wants to be diamond. But it's what are you willing to do to get it? If you want to be where I know you want to be, that means doing the things that's with special intensity, with focus, with commitment, and with effort. Not once in a while. Remember, if you want to be extraordinary, you're doing the ordinary things extra. This is every day. Every day, are you running your business with intensity, with purpose? With drive? Because y'all, some of you on this call, you just have natural ability. You're just naturally good at this business. Well, that's going to get you good. But unless you're willing to do it every day with that passion and that effort and that drive, you're not going to get to the excellent or elite. Because it doesn't start with your calendar, y'all. It starts with your mind. Remember, Charlie wasn't crying because it was necessarily hard. He was crying because he was mentally weak in that moment. But I made him do it until he stopped crying. And I was even talking to him after it. I said, do you notice how your mindset is different now? And he goes, yeah. And I said, I couldn't let you sit in that mindset all day. I had to help you push through that. It killed me. As much as Megan thinks I'm a monster, it killed me watching him cry like that. But I knew I had to get him out of that mindset. I couldn't let him sit in it. The difference is, y'all, I can't do that for you. I can't stand over you and making sure you're doing the things you need to do. I know some of you would love that. Hey, Phil, tell me what to do every day. It's not about what you do. It's about the mindset you do it with. I love that, Erica, that you want to, and you will be elite. Y'all, that is where you need to live. And so everything you do from this moment on, Erica, everything you do from after this call, that's your barometer. Is this going to get me closer or further away from my goal? You should be judging everything like that. Because even after having a crazy long labor and delivery with Hezi, let me preface that because I know we're close. So for those of you listening to the recording, I'm talking about Hezi. Megan was still increasing her network by talking to the nurses. And y'all, don't matter that they didn't sign up. It's about doing the ordinary things extra. How many would say in that moment, I'm just tired. I'm just not going to do anything right now. I'm just going to unplug. I want boundaries. I'm going to do all this. Y'all, that's great. You're just not going to get to where you want to go. It's just the reality of it. So what's it going to be today? Are you going to be bad at what you do, which I don't believe anyone on this call wants to be? Are you just going to settle for average? Are you just going to settle for being good on your natural talents? Or are you going to have the drive to be excellent or elite? Because the choice is yours. The choice is yours to be made. You already have the blueprint of what Alita, Cheryl, and Megan have done. There's no secrets. We have the blueprint. Are we willing to do what it needs, what it takes? Are we going to turn our minds from a survival mindset? Because the human condition is survival. It's not to be the best. It's just to make it. But y'all, we were not created to just make it. I want to challenge you all to let the lion inside of you out. Let it roar. Run after your goals. Don't just have a dream. Be about your dream. I should know what your dream is by your actions, not by your words. You see my wife hustling all the time. You see me hustling all the time. You know we have big dreams through our actions, not by what we say. You don't have to stay stuck. I want to challenge you that when you feel like you're stuck, when you feel like you're not in it, I want you to find someone who's going to help push you to get out of that mindset. Not everyone's going to have a Phil making them puke while they're running. But I need you to push through it. Because I know what your goals are. I know what your dreams are. And I'm over here like screaming to myself, it's simple, just do it. Everything you do today should get you closer to your goals. Don't delay. Run after it. And be that lion. Y'all, hopefully that spoke to you. I love getting on these calls. I love watching and looking at you. I wish I had more faces. That's okay. I will accept that. But it is a pleasure getting on here. I hope that you do what it takes to hit your goals. Only you can do it. You should not be getting on these calls for motivation. The motivation needs to come from within you. Because if you just have motivation and you do nothing, what do you have? Don't just be receivers of knowledge, be doers. It is easy to sit on this call and take in all these things and agree with everything we say. it is harder to do the work. So go let that line out, y'all. All right, y'all. Have a great one. Bye.